folks. Welcome to the seminar series. I really appreciate you guys being here on a Thursday. I know this is a Monday event, but today we have a special honor to have a speaker who was in the United States and was kind enough to come all the way. He was giving a keynote in Chicago, I believe, and was kind enough to come to Auburn to talk to us and tell us all about what's going on in Korea, KAIST in particular. Dr. Lee is the director of the Center for Excellence in Learning and Teaching at KAIST, and he's a former dean of education at that institution. That's a very well-known university in South Korea, and we're very happy to have you today.
Thank you. So, okay, hello everyone. I'm very happy, and it's my very pleasure and honored to make a talk here. Okay, so. Today, I would like to share some our experiences with you. So, our university also has tried to improve our teaching and learning and also education. KAIST is a typical research-oriented university. So then, before 2 years ago, nobody had a very strong and serious concern in the education. Okay, so but 2 years ago we started to make some changes. So we called such kind of effort called the Education 3.0 class models. So the key is to increase interactions in classrooms. So just some overview of the KAIST. Okay, 11,000 students, more larger graduate schools, and so on. Let me skip. Okay. So nowadays, many persons are talking about kind of the education. Okay. Harvard University had a big conference in 1 year ago. Okay, so there, the key issue and the key message was like this. Okay, nowadays the education itself is a kind of a failure in some sense. Okay, so it means we need to consider our education again. Okay, our the teaching and learning methods again. Okay, so many other issues. Okay. So what is this? It's a typical classroom in the university. Okay, so he's doing something, lecturing, typical lecturing. So we all know the limitations of the conventional lecturing, one-way information transport, and very limited interaction. Students are very passive. Okay, so almost every professor always tells, we have too many things, okay, to be taught. Okay, so students should know these many things. Okay, so it's a short survey made by our some freshman students. Okay, some group of students. Okay, independent of our effort. Okay, what was the most effective and useful for your learning and study in the last semester? So the person, they allowed to make multiple choices, but the first one is solving quizzes or exercise by themselves, and the second one is just study the textbook alone. And the third one is some group study, okay, discussions with friends. And the lecturing is only the fourth, but it also accounts only for 10%. So in some sense, lecturing we may not need, okay? So it does not so much make the contribution to their study. Another one, okay, you may be able to find this site, okay? Then there are a lot of discussions and debates on the problems or limitations of classical lecturing, and also about the PowerPoint. Okay, PowerPoint make problem worse. So then usually we, students and professors, tend to believe lecturing is almost all about our teaching and learning. Okay? It is the reason why we are here and the professors why doing some jobs in the university. Okay? However, such lecturing is just a small part of the teaching and also learning. There are a lot more things to do. So, who invented current very standardized teaching and learning method? For example, including class hours and class schedules, and also teaching method, classroom design, and so on. Who? Do you know? But somebody told it is by the Prussia, okay, almost 150 years ago. Okay. Why? For educate so many people, okay, to improve their countries, the economy and the industry. Okay. He told, I don't know exactly, but anyway, the book claims. So nowadays, okay, many persons are talking about a new paradigm. Our education should be changed. Okay, so far we have tried to increase number of students, okay, and mass education. But nowadays, many persons are emphasizing the quality of the education, especially quality of higher education. Okay, some journals, okay. So nowadays, the society and the industry need some new capabilities or new people. For example, the creativity and some synthesizing capabilities and communication and teamwork and the leadership. Okay? Such some different capability we need. But how do we educate such kind of things for students? Not easy. However, in the past, okay, in the West and the East, okay, you know the famous scholars, and they were also very great teachers. Okay, they always emphasized Q&A and discussions and communication, interactions, and self-learning. Okay, however, nowadays we have lost almost everything. Why? For mass education. So many persons now claim, okay, our educational paradigm should be changed to new ones, or some bad ones, okay, and maybe all good ones, maybe something different. Okay. Student-centric, or it should be bi-directional, or interactive, or more student participation, and group or team learning, and so on. So there have been many good ideas for better education. Okay, some active learning for more student participation in classroom, or problem-based learning. Okay, for example, without any classical lecturing, just we make use of teamwork-based learning. Okay, such kind of method can now it's being used by many medical schools. Okay, nonetheless, there are many ideas. Okay, but they are not so successful yet. Okay, why? Why we cannot do that? Many ideas we cannot implement so easily. I think one reason is because most class hours are just used for lecturing. Okay, so why? Professors tend to believe we have too many things. Okay, then the class hours not enough. Okay, so they usually spend the most time for the lecturing. So another one, lecturing is most convenient for most professors, okay? So minimum effort, okay? The similar ones can be repeated again and again. And another one, this kind of PowerPoint has been developed for improving the efficiency of the lecturing, okay? So PowerPoint is too powerful. So you know the PowerPoint, okay, very good, but actually by using the PowerPoint, professors can now deliver more things, okay, more efficiently, but our brains, okay, cannot process them and absorb them. So 2 years ago, our university started looking at our education. Okay, our former president, okay, he initiated some such kind of effort, and many more ideas, more well-known ideas. Anyway, so then we tried to apply the information technology to teaching and learning, and then we thought we might be able to improve our teaching and education. But it's a very common idea, okay? So many people tend to believe information technology will be very useful for our teaching and learning, okay? So many devices, any more kind of tools and so on. So anyway, at that time, people made a new name called the Education 3.0. Maybe I think it's from the Web 3.0, but not so good name. Okay. Anyway, the duty was for a kind of a dean. Okay, so it means the university and the president emphasized the mission. So we need a simple but more effective method. Okay, what is this? So the idea is very simple and very common, nothing new. Okay, we should not make any lectures in classroom. Okay, then we can send the lectures into internet very easily. Nowadays, the technology has been almost very matured. And then what do we do in class instead? Okay, what do we do? We can do anything but except lecturing. Okay, just more discussions and Q&A and teamworks, anything. Okay, we can do. Because why? Why? Because we have a lot of time. Okay, some labs or some others. Okay. So we define the kind of the model like this. Okay, in classroom we have no lecturing. Okay, instead we do some Q&A, discussions, teamwork, many things, very interactions and student participation. But such lecture can be studied in advance, okay, before the class, okay, then by using the e-learning technology. Okay. So it might be called a kind of flipped learning or some inverted learning. It's a well-known idea, but the point is how to implement them, okay? So such very interactive teaching in classroom, okay, we can do quiz, Q&A, some review, or very interactive problem solving, or discussion, or group learning, or discussion, teamwork, even some labs, okay. We can do many things depending on the courses and the teachers and classes. We also made some changes, okay? So we limited the number of students in a class up to 48. And if we have a large number of students, for example, 100, then we divide the class into two ones, okay? And we also reduce the weekly class hours down to a half. Otherwise, students will have too much workload. Lecture video studying and the classroom study, then the effort or workload might be almost twice. So we reduce the class hours. Okay? Then if we have 100 students, then we can easily divide the class into two ones. Okay? Just professors will repeat the same thing. And we made some the student group of the 6 students each group. Okay? Then we assigned more TAs. Okay? So then, and the TA did some roles in classrooms, not just grading. Okay? So we provided some individual professor consulting. Okay? So usually we have some faculty workshops. Okay? But usually they do not attend. So then we just provided some individual one-to-one consulting. Okay? So we also changed the classrooms. For example, the key is just some the group-based layout. Okay, no special more techniques. And for each group, you will be given a whiteboard. Okay, so initially we installed some the devices, displays, and equipment, but usually people do not use them. Okay. So they are not essential. We may change some interior design to make a new environment and culture and thinking. But it is also not so essential. Just group-based layout and whiteboard. So in this year, we made 8 such classrooms. So some classrooms are just for both lecturing and interactions. So e-learning system is very common. Just we developed from some well-known open source called Moodle. And the video was made very short, okay? 10 minutes for each segment. Otherwise, students cannot focus on. Then those videos can be organized not linearly, more some conceptually or some other non-linear organizations. Some others, okay, so they are nothing new. Okay, the technology is very well developed and matured. So how do we make the lecture videos? Okay, you can take the videos like in this room, but nowadays more preferred the video format is like this, just self-recording. Okay, but a professor can make the video at his office or at home, but noise and the lighting are not so good. Then we developed this kind of a studio in many things. Okay, now we are installing such one for each department as possible. Okay, such facility should be easily accessible, but nothing new. So let me skip. So then the question is whether this kind of the approach is useful or effective. Okay. So in first we had 3 pilot classes for freshmen: Calculus 1, General Chemistry, and some design courses. So initial feedback was very positive. Okay, overall satisfaction was very good. Okay, And we also compared the university-wide the class evaluation at the end of semesters, okay? So for example, course 1 and course 2 had some other parallel classes, okay? So then we compared. So this type of class has very high class evaluations. Well, the professors or teachers might be very good persons, but we did not select such a person. So in the last fall, we had 10 classes, okay? So overall satisfaction level is still very good, okay? Some majors, okay, some elementary courses. Initially, at the beginning of the lectures, classes, okay, usually the students are very skeptical, okay? However, at the end of the class, okay, they changed a lot. So also, many students wish to take this type of classes again, okay? So the retention ratio is almost 75%. Of course, there are still some students who wish or who prefer classical lecturing, okay? Nonetheless, it's a very good indicator. Another one, okay? We also compared two courses, okay? For these two courses, the university-wide class evaluations, okay? One is the first, another one was the third among the 12 parallel classes. So many persons usually ask that, okay, what is the actual exam grade or achievement, okay? So we try to compare the parallel classes, okay, by taking the same exam. But usually the department and the professors were very reluctant to take the same exam, some political reasons and very delicate issues and so on. Nonetheless, we made some partial comparison. For example, okay, for the computer programming, okay, the midterm and final exam, they took the same one, okay? So it was still the third, okay? And the calculus, okay, some part of the midterm exam, okay, the average was 10 points higher. So in the last spring, we had 18 classes, okay? So then the overall satisfaction some drops down, okay? There are some reasons. The first, okay, some professors declared, okay, he will do this type of teaching and classes. But actually in the class, okay, he did not have enough time for making the lecture videos in advance, okay, not well prepared, okay. Then he has no choices, okay. He just repeated some the lecturing, okay. Then the students are not so happy. And we also try to find out the correlations between level of interactions in class and also overall satisfaction, okay? So overall, some high correlations, but there are some exceptions, okay? It means, okay, some professors do actually some interactive teaching in classrooms, but it's not enough, okay? So in other words, professors need some training, okay? They should be better prepared, okay? So now we have the issue of the quality control, okay? Okay, so many students, okay, almost 70% of students responded. They changed their attitude and habits and methods of learning and studying. Okay. So they changed a lot. So some return feedback. I just summarized some keywords, okay? Many things, okay, from students, okay? And also some feedbacks from TAs, okay? They also made many responses. Professors also gave some feedback, okay? Some new approaches, and it's very helpful for developing some ideas, okay? And also students make some more communications, and they can apply the learned, okay? And some proud, okay? And also somebody claimed too much time they needed, okay? But they expected they will be able to save the time by repeating in the next time. So this kind of teaching should be continuously improved. It's just the first time in his lifetime, okay? Just a beginner. Of course, many of them suggested some improvement, okay? So some cases, okay? So some professors summarized their experiences like this. For example, the biology, okay? Many issues, okay? Many persons also have concerns. So students may not study the lecture video in advance. How do you impose or promote them, okay? Not easy question, but nowadays there are many techniques. We can monitor whether they actually looked at the lecture videos, or we may provide some quizzes and exercises, okay? Or some lecture videos may stop for questions, okay? Then students should enter some answers, otherwise it will not go, okay? And so on, many ideas. But she proposed very clever ideas. She asked the students to summarize the contents of the lecture videos. Of course, students can do it without looking at the lecture videos just from the textbook. But textbook is thick like this. It's better to look at the lecture video. Very clever idea, okay? So she also used the honor students of the third and fourth grade, okay? So because many professors claimed we need more TAs, okay? TAs are very essential, but the TAs are not enough, okay? So then higher grade students are very useful, okay? They also can learn by teaching, okay? So she maximized the group discussions, and she also used some absolute evaluation, absolute grading, okay, depending on the student's achievement, okay. Then it was a great motivation for students. Okay, calculus 1 and 2, okay. Actually, he provided many online exercise, okay, not just by himself, okay, from some well-known commercial database, okay. And in the classroom, okay, he used very intensive and extensive problem solving, group-based problem solving and discussions, okay. The TAs helped the student groups. So students were very positive, okay, very happy. And programming, okay, so some programming assignment in class, okay, for a group of students. The group might be 2 or more students, okay. So he pointed out the class activities should be closely associated with the lecture videos, and also group management is very important. Some students may not make any roles, okay, any contributions, okay. So then he frequently changed the group formations. And also some peer reviews, okay, is very effective. So the issue is how to motivate students better to participate in class activities. Usually, you know, usually Oriental students, especially students in science and in engineering, they are very passive, okay, you know. So bioinformatics, okay. So some other approach. Anyway, he told, okay, after this type of teaching, okay, student questions, okay, they were more complicated, more advanced. But in the past, they made just very simple questions on terminology and concepts, okay, but they changed. So my point is, I do not claim this type of teaching can achieve better exam grades, okay? But anyway, it can be sustainable, okay, at this time. So even better. However, they have just begun, okay? The beginners. So this type of teaching, the main objective is to enhance the level of interaction in classroom. And so such interactions is known to be very useful for learning, okay? We expect it will contribute to improve creativity, synthesizing capability, communication, and teamwork, and so on. So there are also some scientific evidences, okay? So better concentration and long-term memory, and better structuring knowledge, okay? We have the more important reason, characters. You know, our students are very passive. They should be more active. And they usually do not make the friends very well, okay? So it is the reason why we need this, okay? I don't know, your students, okay? So we may have another scientific, maybe in science journal, then is it scientific? So Nobel Prize winners in physics, okay? He reported his experiences in science, okay? So he had very big classes, 340 students, okay? But he continued lecturing up to 10 weeks, 10th weeks, okay? But for 11th weeks, okay, he divided the group into two ones, okay? Then first group, okay, just continued the same lecturing, okay? But for the second group, he introduced interactive group-based team learning, okay? In such kind of big classroom. Then how do we make the teamwork? 1, 2, 3, okay? 3 persons can be a team. They were assigned some kind of the team study assignment, okay? They studied. And he did not attend the classes, just a postdoc, okay? Postdoc coordinated. But after 1 week, all students are given 12 problems, okay? Then how many problems, okay? How many students solved, okay? Then distribution, okay? First group and second group. Very significant differences, okay? So in the future, okay, in this year, we are learning more than 60 classes, okay, 8 such interactive classrooms. And after 5 years, okay, we'll change almost more than 30% of the old classes, okay, into such classes. And we'll make almost more than 60 classrooms we need. So we'll impose kind of trainings for new faculties or some promoted faculties. So in the university long-term plan, we placed this type of the objectives at one of the top priorities. And we had some government funding for this effort, some continuous annual funding, and some donations for this kind of effort. Let me shortly introduce another case, Nanyang Technical University in Singapore, okay? Nowadays, they changed almost 100 classrooms into this kind of very interactive ones, okay? Nowadays, 3 days ago, I heard, okay, they finished a new building like this. You may see the building is like all the round columns, okay? Why? The classrooms will be round, okay? Rectangular classrooms are very inefficient for group-based layout, okay? So the lecture rooms usually requires more space. Okay, so in the future, okay, MOOC, okay, we also joined recently the Coursera. So in the future, if a professor uploaded his lectures in the MOOC or internet, there will be no reason to repeat the same lecturing in the classroom, okay? Then he will do something different, okay? Maybe this type of very interactive discussions and classes. So we will also do that, okay, in the future. The Educational 3.0 effort will produce more lecture videos, and they will also some of the MOOC, okay, for our classes. So in the future, we'll connect all the classrooms as possible. Even in the campus, okay, the classrooms are too small, then some classrooms should be combined and connected, and we should connect the classrooms with the others, okay? So e-learning is not enough for remote students, okay? So we need kind of classroom interaction even for students in different locations and countries. So in the future, it's our vision, okay? Not simple classroom networking. We connect, okay? Very interactive classrooms together. So we had some pilot experiments with the USC and the other university in the last spring, okay? By using just kind of the internet and the very simple codec equipment, okay? Something. So in the future, I think the lectures will be transformed into a kind of textbook. The textbook so far is in text, okay, but the future textbook might be a kind of video-based textbook, okay? So I think the lecturing will leave the classrooms, and it should, okay? And we may not need the lecturing anymore, okay? So we should make students think, and we also make students do something in classrooms, okay? And also, we should send the lecturing into internet. Now we can do. So before this seminar, I met one of the associate dean, okay, engineering dean. He gave me some ideas. You are doing some lab works, okay, hands-on labs in class hours. Instead, the lectures are given from the internet, okay? In other words, we can make use of the class hours better, okay? Do you know this? Okay. How long does it take? I know. It was originally proposed a long time ago, okay? But it was reconfirmed, okay? Revived after almost 2,000 years. Okay, not easy, but interactive teaching and learning, okay, was nothing new. It was proposed long time ago. Then how long does it take to change this, okay? You don't know. It will take some time. Thank you. So, any questions and comments? Okay.
Any questions? We just capture the microphone.
Yeah.
Dr. Lee, thank you very much. In one of your early slides, you talked about interactive watching of the videos. How do you promote that your students don't just watch it like a movie, but how should students view the videos in such a way as to learn from the videos?
For the lecture video, at this time, we do not have many good ideas for interactions in the e-learning content, okay? But the only method is to include more the quizzes, okay? Even in the lecture videos, okay, we may insert some the question and answers, okay? And we make students to make more interactions with their friends, okay? But in science and engineering, okay, usually our problems are, our questions and problems include many mathematical notations. But the written text is not enough, okay? So we developed kind of a tool based on the smartphone. Just, you know, every smartphone has some camera. So just write down the questions and the answers will be uploaded by just writing, some video based. Then students will be able to make more interactions and such things. Okay, and any others?
Thank you. Oh, Jeff.
Yeah.
I think many of us like these ideas.
Yeah.
The question is how to most efficiently get from where we are, which is a lecture model, to what you're talking about, that transition.
Yeah.
How to do that, reasonable steps to get to that model.
From usual lecturing to this type of interactive teaching, yeah. I know I have. Yeah, good idea. So at the beginning, okay, each professor has some difficulties, okay? Some professors are not so good even at the lecturing, okay? So then but we just encourage them, okay? So usually the most important hurdle is the initial workload to make the lecture video in advance. Usually professors are very busy for their research, writing papers, and funding, and so on. So actually we provided some incentive. You know, the professors are most difficult to change. So then we provided some small financial incentives, okay? But after classes, okay, then professors really changes. And we also provide some one-to-one consulting, okay? Some cases and examples, and how do you teach and prepare for interactive classes and some other cases, okay? Then they understand, okay? In many cases, they usually propose many different better ideas. So then not smooth changes, just switch from conventional teaching to this type of new teaching. So at first, this type of teaching, initial teaching may not be perfect, okay? but by repeating these, they improve a little bit. Okay.
So when you had the courses where you had the videos and the students would come in and do interactive activities, did they watch the videos and prepare?
Yeah, that's a good question. Okay, so students may not watch the lecture video at all. Okay, but we can monitor whether he actually watched the video. Okay, but the system can record it. But some students may just play the lecture video, just do something different one. Okay, so but there are some quizzes. Okay, the quizzes can be solved by after watching the videos, or as I proposed, some professors ask the students to summarize his lecture videos. So without watching the lecture videos, it cannot be done, okay? Of course, I think even without looking at the lecture videos, they can do something in classroom, okay? There is a very important recent report from the Stanford University, okay? In the classes, okay? First, students are given some problem, okay? Without any teaching. Then students try to solve for 30 minutes, okay? But eventually, he may fail, okay? Just 0 point, that's okay. After that, then he may provide some explanations and some kind of problem-solving sessions. Then he do much better. So it means lecturing itself, okay, does not necessarily help the student's understanding, okay? Very limited. I think lecturing may not be so useful, okay? Okay.
Interactive classrooms are typically very hard to create. If you're a lecturer, are you creating professional development for both the classroom, for the teacher, and for the TAs? And is it ongoing interactive professional development?
Yeah. The classroom design?
The teaching of it.
Teaching.
How to teach.
Yeah, okay. So we collected many cases, okay? Kind of the teaching techniques and the cases we collected. We have some professional staff, okay? 2 PhDs, okay? In the education or educational technology, okay? They developed some basic models and techniques and cases, and then they provide some consulting to professors. And we also collected some good ideas from other professors, okay, who participated, okay? So then we share the ideas. So the method is not a fixed one. It depends on the classes and courses and professors. There are many versions, okay? So some professors may just do kind of just hands-on labs, okay? Instead of any kind of discussions. It will be okay. Okay, any other?
One last question, and then
So in Korea, are the high schools for starting to prepare students for this kind of model? Or is the high school experience there still very much like it is here, where it's exam-based?
In our high schools, okay, typical lecturing, okay, without any interactions, okay. Usually, teachers don't want any questions. Students also usually do not make many questions, okay. Very calm. Okay, so you mean the students are not well prepared for such kind of interaction, okay? So it's very difficult to change the students, okay? However, it is the reason why we need such kind of classes, okay? Interactive classes to change our students, okay? But initially, students are not so active, but as the classes goes, okay, then they started changing, okay? No serious problem, okay? After that, students were very happy. For example, for our freshman elementary courses, okay? we have almost each year 10,000 freshman students. Okay, then there may be many parallel classes up to 10 or 12. Okay, then we just choose one class for each course. Then we receive the applications from students for this type of class. Many students. Okay, we just need 48 students for the class, but applicants, the number of applications is more than 300. It means our students, okay, very fresh, just from the high school, they have a wish, something new one, you know.
Okay.
Okay.
We're going to have to wrap it up. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Thank you.